to bring it back, because if not, they're going home.
And it seems like we are going to be going into Dragonshire. This is a very important map for Furious Gaming. It's also a very skirmish-heavy map. So if they prioritize early in rotation, they should have the advantage here.
Yeah, another hero that's pretty good at skirmishes, or at least so I'm told, is Karazim as well. So, you know, if they don't deal with that in the draft, then that could be something that comes to haunt them in Game 2 as well.
All right, looking at the draft, we've got Leoric and Jaina so far banned here, and Relics will have the first pick. So looking at, for instance, the triple warrior, like we've seen before, well, Dragonshire, I believe, is a battleground where we've seen teams in the past, even in the Korean region, run it. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We've seen MVP Black run this map before. They're just really good with this map. But Johanna's going to get picked up. Leoric, Jaina will be the bans here. Furious Gaming, they are looking for something a little bit different. Uther is the next tier 1 pick that's still up for grabs. Do they want to get an Uther? No, they want to get Zera 2 first.
Yeah, I'd say that's a little bit different, and it's something I think it's an opportunity they haven't had yet. So grabbing the Zeratul, I think, is a smart way to throw that up, and they are going to pair that with the Uther. Zeratul can get himself into a lot more trouble and have Uther sort of bail him out with that Divine Shield. Always a great tool to have.
Relics may be controlling the warrior battle by banning Leoric and grabbing Johanna, but Furious, that left them open to pick up the perfect combination that you want with Zeratul. Zeratul with the Divine Shield on top of him, that's going to be a headache for Relics for the rest of this. But they've got plenty of time. They've got 4 picks to try to respond with it. We'll see what they choose to bring up here before the next ban phase.
I was about to say Vala again. This is consistent with the first game. Vala did a lot of damage in the last game with Strafe going down. Johanna is also there for the setup with Blast Shield. That's going to buy even more time. What's surprising here is if they do want to go for Tarunda, Furious Gaming, actually, no, we're going to see Zaza Malfurion.
Yes, we're seeing it. Zaza's Malfurion play always brings a smile to my face. Now we've got bans. I love that they picked it up too, because they know that they love Malfurion so much, and anybody who's watched them or checked them out at all knows that Zace loves that Malfurion. So a really good pickup there before the bans.
This also shows a little bit of flexibility, but not really pointing in too many directions for Relics, because they already have a support, a damage dealer, and a warrior. It makes the ban process for the second half for Furious quite difficult. They are going to take out Sagara. It's another strong hero for Relics, but they still have plenty of options available to them.
Kel'Thas is gone, and Malfurion, by the way, Relics plays 70% of their games with Malfurion.
Yeah.
So that is very consistent on their part. We've also got Zagara, Kel'Thas banned, like you said. So Furious Gaming, we've got some options here. Gilly, what do you think there will be?
Well, Furious have shown they like Nazeebo, so Nazeebo could be a good one here, especially because of the fact that he can kind of stall out waves by throwing down his or waves of minions with his zombie wall, and so it kind of stalls it out, makes sure that they have control of the lanes, because really Dragonshire is all about controlling all 3 lanes so that you can pick up the shrines.
There it is, the Nazeebo once more, but again, they're picking this into Johanna, which could prove to be very difficult. It was an issue in the last game. They did go Gargantuan, a better way to get some more sustained damage out of Nazeebo, but you don't have quite that splash impact that Ravenous Spirit does.
Oh, the Banshee Queen, my base right there, Sylvanas. And we're looking at Nazeebo Sylvanas as double specialist. Very good in Dragonshire for lane pressure. You're looking at the amount of push potential that this team can provide. With Withering Fire, Shadow Dagger, and Haunting Wave, Sylvanas has got all the mobility she needs. And don't forget, those black arrows will switch off those structures and minions as well.
That's right. Some of the talents you can grab for Withering Fire and the trait, the Unstable Poison, makes her a pushing monster, but it's always about that Wailing Arrow. And with if you have a Void Prison set up, hitting multiple heroes, there's a Zombie Wall you can throw on top of that, and the Wailing Arrow. Maybe there is some potential for that Ravenous Spirit to come out.
Relics with their last 2 picks. We already have a warrior and a support. We could see 2 damage here. We could also see another warrior if they're feeling like they want a really heavy front line, especially since this is skirmish central on Dragonshire. What do you think, Babel? What do you think they'll pick up here?
Relics has got one answer for Nazeebo, and that is Tyrael. So one of those picks will have to be Tyrael. They will do 2 warrior picks. Actually, Anubarak also is pretty good, but I'm kind of convinced that Anubarak and Johanna will maintain lane pressure, so they're just trying to make sure that yes, you have Nazeebo Sylvanas, we've got Anubarak and Johanna. Both of these with clear mechanics will get nicely even out, and that's the thing that Tyrael does not have. But there we go!
You second-guessed yourself, Babel. You were right all along. They are going to grab the Tyrael. That is a lot of dive potential. We've actually seen these 3 warriors together in the past, but Anubarak with that burrow charge, Tyrael with the Judgment, Johanna not following up too far behind with the Blessed Shield. That's going to be a world of pain for whoever they decide to target.
I love this pickup from Relics. They're saying, hey, we saw your strategy last game and we're going to show you how it's done. 3 warriors here. Justice will be dispensed from Tyrael 2. And what warrior now will Furious pick up? So many were banned or picked up already. They're really kind of down to the dregs in terms of warriors.
It's got to be Muradin, right? I think that's probably one of the few options, maybe ETC, but like you said, Gilly, there are very few options moving forward.
I want to see ETC, man. That's my pick here. And we've got 3 wars, and it's Muradin. All right, we've got some beer today. Muradin, Uther, Zeratul, and Nazeebo Sylvanas. That's a pretty good rotation-heavy-centric lineup. Uther, Zeratul, and Muradin can rotate really well. Nazeebo Sylvanas can maintain a lane pressure, so it's not that big of a problem here for Furious Gaming. Relics, like you say, Kubi, they're just looking to prove that 3 wars can be played, and this is how they're going to do it.
Yeah, they're really going to try to control that early game with a lot of rotations. We see a lot of the rotations here, especially between mid and bottom there, because there are so many bushes that you can kind of hide in and try to catch the other team in the rotation. So that's what they'll be looking to do with such a strong front line too. And both teams, though, have the rotation potential, like you mentioned, with either Muradin as well as Zeratul and then Uther, or the triple warrior threat from Relics.
Yeah. Relics are really a team that has shown that they have the synergy with all the members of the team to execute some of those more difficult to land stuns, and they will be able to put a lot of pressure on in the early game. You guys have been talking a lot about the skirmishes for the shrines, and controlling that objective that is the Dragon Knight is going to be very critical moving forward.
It will be. Lane pressure is the name of the game here. Dragon Shire, we are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. With that, we're now going into game number 2. Everything is on the line here for Furious Gaming. Relics, they want to nail the final nail here into the coffin, and that's really important for them to get this one. On the blue team, we got Relics. Reliza will be the Tyrael, Trinity playing as the Vala, Mer on to Johanna, Zace on to Malfurion, and Revenant as the Anubarak.
And they're down 1-0 in this best of 3. They need your support. It's Kobu playing Uther, and Zandros on Muradin, Nita on Nazeebo, Wilo on Zeratul, and playing Sylvanas, it will be Bishop. Give it up for Furious Gaming.
So here we have a bit of a very early aggression. We're going to see 2 trains crash each other right now. Mur is actually going to just walk past the zombie wall, and Furious Gaming will back up naturally.
Both teams looking to try to clear out this lane, the minions as much as possible before they rotate into their standard lane compositions for this early game here. Probably looking at a 1-1-3 or some sort of like rotation between the mid and bottom, but we'll see. Relics getting to clear that first and start that setup.
It's interesting to see Sylvanas is actually going to go to the top lane here to maintain some pressure instead of going to the bottom lane. Most teams in SEA would like to see Sylvanas in the bottom lane, but this Argentinian team is playing things very differently, and that's very nicely respectable. Because Zeratul at the bottom lane, and I think the main reason why he's there is because of the seasoned marksman. Yes, it is a seasoned marksman. Yeah,
and in fact, scouting drone for Malfurion. So recognizing that there is a potential for ganks here from Furious, they're going to have that extra vision control here with that.
And we also can expect that Zeratul is not looking for ganks so early on. I mean, there's 3 very tanky targets. There's no one can go in and burst it down fast enough in the early stages of this game. So going for seasoned marksman and playing it safe, this also means that you will not really expect any rotation from Furious Gaming. Relics on the other side, they are just rotating very well between the mid as well as bottom lane.
Right away, I think we saw the zombie wall go down to stop the minions from moving forward from Nazeebo, like I mentioned earlier. So they do have that way of kind of staving off the regression from Relics until they can kind of build up into the mid to late game. Once they have those seasoned marksman stacks, once Nazeebo starts to get more of his abilities too.
And here we go, the rest of Relics with the root connecting on Nazeebo. There's some damage right there. Guilo is at the bottom lane trying to suck up some charges on that extra seasoned marksman, but top lane pressure is being maintained by Revenant pretty well. Trinity's not going to be hit by that Singularity Spike.
I do like the choice of having Anubarak up there versus Sylvanas to lane. It's difficult to lane against her, true, for just about anybody, but at least with his beetles, he can kind of stave off. There you see they're kind of pushing back the minions so that it doesn't get pushed against them quite so quickly.
And we got Bishop trying his best to maintain the lane pressure right here. Level 7 is going to be a level you want to look for as Sylvanas with the unstable poison, and that's really important to see that. Here we go, level 4 both sides though, not really there just yet, and the Dragon Knight summoned by Mur is actually going to happen. Whoa. And the stun there, wow, you're not going to charge me, boy. I'm Muradin, sir.
What an early Dragon Knight here, but we're going to start getting some damage done on structures. Dragon Knight going straight for the mid towers, but we'll probably have a push in other lanes from the rest of the heroes, forcing the split defense from Furious Gaming here. That's exactly what's happening in the bottom. More towers being taken down. Relics are looking to get as many walls as possible. 2 would be ideal to try to get that early experience lead, get to their level 7 talents faster.
20 seconds remaining on the Dragon Knight. Mer's taking a little bit of extra damage, and he finally charged him all the way to Beijing. He's not going to come back so soon. Mer now is actually trying to hold off the aggression, buying some time. The rest of the team at the bottom lane is doing whatever they can to make sure that the gate is going to go down. Both towers are gone already. This is very consistent with the standard Relics play. They like this early game push pressure.
Now they're even going to be able to take out the well too, which is really nice because it makes it a little bit difficult for Furious Gaming to be able to re-engage into a fight. You know, they take some damage, they back off, they hit it, and then come right back in. No, now it becomes more difficult as the wells get taken out in those lanes.
Level 6 both sides still. Sylvanas needs that level 7. Revenant in the top lane as Underbarak is really pushing a lane. We are also seeing a multi-shot Vala, by the way. And Reliza swings by. He's going to try and threaten the camp, but he's not going to go for it. The rest of the team is not around.
Well, they're about to be around. They're jumping in, and immediately out jumps Muradin. And Zandro's going to be able to dwarf toss away there. Uther for Furious Gaming going for Boundless Conviction at 4. May follow that up with Wave of Light at 7. We're not seeing the protective shield there at 4 because it's really based on hold that thought. Relizer getting caught there, does get out to the Eldarin, but unfortunately he's right next to Uther, who throws down a Hammer of Justice, and he will go down.
Yeah, he's just looking for Wrath of the Archangel's burst right there. It's a little bit unfortunate, but Zace is not able to heal up that amount of damage taken so quickly as a Malfurion. He does have Enduring Grove, and he loses Grace, but those not enough in the early stages here. He needs to get to level 13, but it's going to be pretty questionable if he goes for Ice Block or the other talent there.
Okay, so what I was talking about before, there is the Wave of Light pickup for Uther, and that is going to make sure that he has more heals. But with Protective Shield, it's based on your maximum health, and where they only have the 1 warrior, it makes sense why you would want to go for that build, just so you have as many heals as possible for your team.
There we go. Mercenary Camp's getting picked up by both sides. In terms of forward, everything's still up and standing. And there we have the Shrines activating in just 30 seconds. Nid's going to pick this one up. Revenant's going to buy some time here, but he has to bail out.
Shrines activating in 20 seconds. So we're going to see a lot of pressure trying to get the lanes pushed as much as possible so that they can hurry and try to pick those up. Good push so far for Relics, especially in bottom, as they go ahead and clear these bruisers so they'll have the same on top.
And it's interesting because in Dragonshire, you don't really have to maintain pressure across all 3 lanes. It's already good enough if you have 1 lane under control, so you don't lose the Shrine right there. And this is exactly what Revenant's doing here, is making sure that he, by himself, can hold the top Shrine. And bottom Shrine, it seems like we got a little bit of a chase, but it's not going to be a takedown.
Relics getting pretty close to the heroic abilities, but Furious is not far behind this time. So if Furious can continue to maintain that soak, they will be able to hopefully catch up. But now, Wilo trying to stop Relizer from picking up this Dragon Knight. It's going to be close, but Revenant might lose his life for trying to protect this Shrine. Can he get the Burrow Charge out? He's throwing out the Impale. He is so low. The Stormbolt will stun him. Can he get away? Burrow Charge may save him. No, right into Zeratul.
Wow, that is a really unfortunate position to be in, but there goes the ruin. Zeratul, maybe Zeratul's going to get punished here. Guano dropping. Zafe, Moonfire, not even need a shield that's going to take him out. Zandros will pull back. And that's it. Revenant was just sitting on the top Shrine for so long, and he was just denying the possibility of losing the Dragon Knight in that stage there.
I like the choice of Sylvanas to go ahead and grab that bottom Shrine too. She was basically alone, and because,
wow.
Oh, Nazebo, no, he's down. But picking that up, they knew they were going to be behind in terms of heroic abilities, so being able to pick that up buys time until they grab their heroic abilities, which they now have. So they should still be able to stop, or at least try to defend versus this Dragon Knight.
That was the lost Nazebo right there. That was not his base, by the way. And Zace was just doing a pretty good job. And we're looking at the top Shrine going to the right team again. Fierce Gaming, you're doing a pretty good job maintaining lane pressure on top. Bottom lane, not so sure. We've still got 2 Siege Mercenary Camps not being picked up. They're both open and available right now. And Heroic's talent are already decided. It will be Revenant Spirit, by the way.
Oh, Blessed Shield misses on Zeratul now. Now that will be down for 54 more seconds. So we might see Furious Edge try to go for the engage here, especially since we see a little bit split up from the team. 2 up in top for Relics, the rest here in mid. As well as going to come in. Will we see a Void Prison? There is the stun on top of Zace.
And Zace has to pull back, but the stun is going to connect. That goes also the Thunderclap. The rest of Relics are not here, but Reliza swings by. Singularity Spike will not connect. And here goes the Revenant Spirit, but Mer is there, and Judgment up to the Nazebo. It seems like Nazebo will be held by Divine Shield. There goes Tranquility, and the Willing Arrow going to connect a little bit. 4 targets all getting blinded. That entangling roots will stop happening. Bishop's gonna be fine, and they lose one Muradin.
There's somebody in the cocoon, and it looks like it's Kobu. Can they connect? Yes, the Kadin will connect, and he goes down as well. And now, forget the Dragon Knight. The Relics are going to go after this fort here, but actually, look where they're sneaking it, though. We still will have the Dragon Knight, so we're going to get a fort, we're going to get the Dragon Knight, and we're going to keep pushing.
Yes, and that also means that you have a bit of an engagement happening. A Bishop is not able to run away. The antagonist is very much on point, and this is why we love Zay. Zay's your naughty little boy.
Zay's so awesome there. Revenant starting to work on the top four as the mid is already going down. Relics now at level 13, picking up those talents that we have imposing will for Tyrael, which is so important. That's going to be super nice for him because it will slow down anybody's attack speed and movement speed by 50% if they attack him.
This is just really split push mechanic you're seeing right here. Relics, bottom lane pressure by Mer, top lane pressure by the Dragon Knight, and Furious Gaming, they have a lineup that can really push, but they're not doing that. You see all three structures are in place, and Relics are just really outmaneuvering Furious right now. They have to decide if they want to defend top or bottom. If they go both ways, they're not really going to get anything done.
Now, several heroic abilities about to come off cooldown for Furious. There was a Hammer of Justice down in the bottom lane, but Mer's still going after it. The Strafe comes down into the Blessed Shield. Divine Shield barely saves Sylvanas.
Trinity looking for the kill on Guilo, not going to get it. Kobu now, a little bit of a weird position, and the Void Prison is going to buy some time by Condemned. It's going to make sure that Uther is gone.
And the Void Prison is now down. That's a long cooldown, so being able to bait that out is really fantastic for Relics. The final fort will fall on the side of Furious, and already all the forts still up for Relics. So because of all the takedowns, we have 6-2, and the amount of structures they've taken down, we have a very serious level lead once again for Relics in the second game.
So 6 kills to 2, like I said, Gilly, and 3 seconds before Uther respawns here. Furious Gaming, this may be a bit of a risky play, and Sandros will decide it is too risky and pulls right back. We got Bishop also trying to stave off the aggression there. But top lane, the Bridge of Death is there, and Relics, if they really want to push, they need some extra support.
Yeah, these bruisers are not very difficult to steal. It's pretty open around them, so they're going to be able to pick that up. But I agree, the Bridge of Death, not really the place you want to push. So instead, pushing in mid while those kind of push the lane themselves, get that bridge cleared out and start working on the towers. If you even just taking out the ammo from them. But we might have engagement here. Furious picked up their 13. They know it's the time. Here comes the Ravenous Spirit.
Perfect. Willing arrow. Ravenous Spirit takes out the Malfurion. Now looking for some stuns there. But Ravenous Spirit doing a lot of damage already. Trinity needs to pull back. It's the only damage dealer, by the way. Murden gets addressed by Reliza. Bishop drops to below 30% HP, and they only trade 1-for-1.
1-for-1, though, is still in favor of the team who is behind in experience, because you do get more experience, it's rebound experience, in order to try to come back here. So that was very good for Furious. Because of that, Relics have to go back. They've got to lick their wounds a little bit. They are going to start working on their own mercenary camps, but it's a little bit more passive. So this might be the chance for Furious to start getting their lanes pushed back, because they need to start working on that, getting some advantages back so they're not playing so reactionary, especially because the Dragon Knight's about to spawn once again.
Relics will want to clash in the next 20 seconds because that is exactly when you don't have most of the heroics up on Furious Gaming. And this is also where the shrines will spawn. Revenant at the bottom part of this shrine, trying to make sure that he does have a 4-man impale. Wow!
Wow, that is a difficult thing to be able to do for a new Barak. There goes the stun on top of them. Void Prison is there too as well.
And 4-man in the Void Prison, but where's the follow-up? Mur now setting it up really well, and Sandros is out of position. All of a sudden, Impale's gonna make sure he comes out from below, and Murden now also gonna be gone already. We got the Divine Shield on Uther. He's now really gonna buy some time. Tyrael goes in. Judgment is gonna connect. Nit now in a lot of trouble. Bishop is no healer, but there goes the Ice Block. Bishop wants to pull back, gets to the fight. Ravenous Spirit being used. That's not the wisest choice, because now it's down for 85 seconds.
Bishop threw out the Haunting Wave and was like, see you later, Nazebo. Good luck with that. But guys, we want to know who you think is going to take this series. A bunch of you voting for Relics here, 85%, so make sure to get your vote in before the end of this game. Hashtag HeroesWC and the hashtag of the team name you think will take it.
And here we have level 17 against 14, 12 minutes in. Relics in a very good spot. 3 heroes down on the side of Furious Gaming. Uther just respawned right there. This is another perfect opportunity here for Relics to go for the Dragon Knight.
Looking at some of the talents that we have on the side of Relics at 16-3, Blood for Blood. So a lot more self-sustain there, but also some burst damage that they will have. Dragon Knight is here, guys, once again for Relics, and they're pushing down this mid lane.
This is where Relics may decide that split push is done. We're now going all in mid. And Ansandros and his team, Furious Gaming, they have to make sure they got enough heroics, but Revenant Spirit is down for 30 seconds. Void Prison is out of the question for the next 15. Can they hold off this aggression?
Zeratul is in the bottom and just trying to soak up until they can get those 16 talents, and then they might be able to engage here. They're so incredibly close. Here comes Wilo, and he does have that wormhole, and that's really nice too, because if he gets out in that Condemn, that will be trouble.
And he goes in for the right target. Trinity needs to make sure that he stays alive. Wilo's primary target will be that damage dealer, because that is the only hero that does so much more damage than the rest of the warriors right now. Reliza is going to respawn as the Tyrael, and there goes the blast shield, perfectly timed. Neat is going to pop the ice block, but Ansandro's dropping really low, and that means Nazebo is also going to go to Kobu as the pullback, and the Divine Shield just nicely saving the day. Welling Arrow coming back, our three-man getting silenced. Relics pulling back again from the core of Furious Gaming, but can they end this game? That's the question. Murr manning up, Warriors going in, and it seems like Uther is out.
That final battle now happening. It looks like Relics will be able to take game number 2.